Good morning and welcome to Eduscope. I remain your anchor, Dr. Iroro Stephen Izu. Today we're going to look at some quotations, quotable quotes from some eminent, thinkers, leaders, and scholars. Now, these quotable quotes, they promise to bring about some form of consciousness, and change in your life and in our societies. Please follow me on this ride. Please remember to subscribe, to my YouTube channel. It's very, very important that you subscribe, so that you can be getting updates, as they are uploaded. Now, the first quotable quote we're going to take today, was the one that was given by Chinua Achebe. Chinua Achebe, was one of the finest literary minds that Nigeria has ever produced, that this country has ever produced to the world. Sometimes our country is known for bad things, for despicable, acts, abominable, you know, um, uh, uh, circumstances. But one of the good things that have, that's come out from this country, was Chinua Achebe. Chinua Achebe was a professor, was a professor of international repute. His book, Things Fall Apart, remains an evergreen, a literary, work. His other books, A Man of the People, Ant Hill of the Savannah, and of course his last book, There Was a Country. These, are books that have remained, top notch in our contemporary society. He said, and I quote, now this quotation is taken from my book, African Politics, Political Thinkers and Development. Chapter 3, chapter 3 is captured African Studies and Misperception. African Studies and Misperception. He said, and I quote, the damage done in 1 year can sometimes take 10 or 20 years to repair. The damage done in 1 year can sometimes take 10 to 20 years, to repair. Now, this, I believe, speaks of the fact that we must give our leaders some latitude, some latitude. We must be patient, with our leaders of today, so that because sometimes the rot that has been that they inherited, can not be, they cannot be comprehended. They are incomprehensible. They are unimaginable. They are so huge, that they need to clear the stable before they start doing their work. So Shina Shibe is counseling us this morning that we should be patient, with our leaders, we will be patient with ourselves, we should be patient, with people who have been elected, appointed, chosen, to lead us in any capacity, whether the level of the family, the level of the church, the mosques, the level of community meeting, the level of the country. We must be patient with our leaders, because what they have inherited might be very, very damning. Some of them, want to tell you, what the enormity of the disasters that they have inherited, because they don't want to rubbish their predecessors, but of course we must be patient with our leaders. That is Shina Achebe, for you. The second quote we're going to take was given by James Madison. James Madison is one of the founding fathers of America, and he said, and I quote, he said, what is government itself but the greatest of all reflections on human nature? If men were angels, no government would be necessary. If angels were to govern men, neither external nor internal controls on governments would be necessary. This is fantastic. He said if men were angels, of course, angels, they are a symbolism, of perfection, of perfection, of beauty, of completeness. Now men we are not angels. We have imperfections. We have inexactitudes. We have flaws and so on and so forth. Now, this actually speaks to our leaders mainly, not even on our individual scale. So now we must understand the fact that, our leaders are not perfect. Our leaders are not angels. That this is where we have things like laws, rules, constitutions. To serve as a checks. On them, to serve as control, on them. So, however, we must not see our leaders as a supernatural beings or extraterrestrial, beings who have all the solutions to our problems. In our own little capacity as individual citizens, we must begin to think out of the box what we can also do, to contribute to the success of any administration in power. Whether you voted for the administration or not, whether you supported it or not, we must we must try not to be a roadblock, to the progress of our country, but we must try to be people who could contribute immensely to the country. Now, the next, quotable quote we're going to take is the one given by Barack Obama. This is very interesting. Barack Obama was the first Black American president, in the entire United States of America. When he became president of America, we are jocularly saying that now that we have a black president in America, the White House should be repented to a black house. Of course, that was just a racist joke. So Barack Obama said that just because we have the best hammer does not mean that every problem is a nail. Woohoo! This is so fantastic. He said just because we have the right hammer does not mean that every problem we see is a nail. This speaks to self-restraint. This speaks to dynamism. Now, you don't use the same formula to solve all problems. You know, yeah, Miles Moreau was quoted to have said that if you keep doing the same thing and expect different results, that is the definition of a fool or an unwise person. So Barack Obama said that just because we have the right hammer does not mean that every problem is a nail. America is a very great country, very powerful country, a country that has nukes, that has so many things. America can obliterate Africa within a twinkle of an eye. It can destroy Africa within a twinkle of an eye. It can destroy many countries within a twinkle of an eye. So but that they have nukes, that they have all these arsenals, in their country does not mean that they should use it carelessly. So it's speaking to the fact that American leaders, American citizens should be self-restrained, in using some weapons, of warfare. And not just American leaders, even leaders of different countries, should not show might, where they should show mercy. So that is Barack Obama, for you. Now, with the next quote we take from my other book, Statecraft. Statecraft. Statecraft is a very interesting book, and it's a book I think will do you no harm if you get and read. So now this quote we're going to take is taken from the chapter 4 of the book. Chapter 4 of the book. Now, it was given by Alexis de Tocqueville. Alexis de Tocqueville is a renowned, scholar in the political science tradition. He said, "Power without glory is hollow and without meaning. Power without glory is hollow, and without meaning. Power without glory is hollow and without meaning." Now, this speaks to the fact that leaders must understand that the what makes their power glorious is the fact that the power is used in the interest of the people. Now, power should not be used, for selfish interests. Power should not be used, to foster or to forge, selfish end. Should be used in the interest, of all. That is what makes power, glorious. So that is Alexis Tocqueville, for you. The last, quotable quote we're going to take is from Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was the one president of Nigeria who had a very, extraterrestrial, ascendancy in life. Extraterrestrial in the sense that, his life was characterized by some kind of providence, not just, natural sequence. From being deputy governor, he became governor. From being vice president, he became president. And so on and so forth. So many, unnatural, explanations characterizing his person. And he was the first president, incumbent president, to concede power, to concede defeat, in 2015. And that concession, of defeat, led to the aversion of a impending doom, that this country would have been plunged into. He said, and I quote, "Democracy is a journey that every nation mindful of advancing the liberty of its citizens must undertake." Now, because of the rising coups in Africa, people are beginning to question, the plausibility, the feasibility, the rational, the reasonability, the reasonableness, or the acceptability of democracy in Africa. So people are even saying that there should be military dictatorship, to correct the anomalies. Democracy remains the key, the answer to our developmental yearnings. Anything military is interim. Anything military is interim because we are unsure. It's unpredictable. Is something that should not be cherished. So Jonathan is trying to reaffirm, the supremacy of democracy, for liberty, for liberation, for prosperity. So we have looked at a few, more quotable quotes from some leaders, some thinkers, and some scholars. You know, I want to remind you to please subscribe to, my YouTube channel to get this discussion going. So we'll meet in our next, session. Thank you very much for your time.